Mrs.Byrd again. So we just read the story about the little red hen, and she made bread. Well, I didn't grow the wheat, and I didn't chop it down, and I didn't go get the miller to grind it into flour. But today I'm going to attempt to make some bread myself with just a few little ingredients. And this is good to know, because now if you go to the grocery store, a lot of things they're out of. You might not have no milk, they may not have bread. So if we can learn how to make our own bread, most of the time these ingredients are not going to be out in the grocery store. So what you're going to need, and by the way, I've never done this before, so bear with me if it doesn't turn out right. It's a learning experiment. So what you're going to need is flour, all-purpose flour, salt, sugar, just regular granulated sugar, oil, and I'm using vegetable oil. And then the main important probably thing is you need, and I'm lucky I had this in my house, active dry yeast, okay? So the first thing, and you also need 2 cups of water, which I already had poured over here. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put this water in our bowl. And I would say lukewarm water, not hot, not cold, lukewarm water. 2 cups going in the bowl. Okay, then we're going to add 3, this has never been opened, actually. We're going to add 3 tablespoons of the yeast. And I've got a tablespoon measuring cup right here. So, 1, 2, and 3. So, there we go. Next, we're going to add some sugar. And you can add, and this, I'm really smelling this now. This has got a smell, guys. Ooh. We're going to add 2, let's make it a mess. Great. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. But what I saw online when I was researching is you could add more if you wanted it sweeter. But I'm just going to add 2. Please don't mind my dog barking in the background. I can't control her barking. You know how that is. And I'm just going to sprinkle this in here. Okay? Sugar makes the yeast rising to the top in the clumps. That's the gas bubbles coming out. But I don't know if mine's working quite right, because the video I saw, they had a lot more than that. But we're just going to play it by ear. Next, it says to add 1/3 cup of oil. And I've got my 1/3 cup right here. I'm going to add that. Okay. And that goes. I don't think I need that anymore. And then we're going to add a teaspoon of salt. So not a tablespoon, a teaspoon. And if you can see, that's the tablespoon, and this is the teaspoon. And let me see if I have those in here, and I can show you the difference. So like this would be a teaspoon. See how much smaller that is? And this is a tablespoon. See the difference? But we have these little measuring cups where we don't even have to guess. So we're going to put a teaspoon of salt in there. We're just going to sprinkle that around. Okay, done with that. Now we're going to mix. So we get in close. We'll mix this right on up. Give it a little mix-a-poo. And I hope the yeast is right. It's not out of date. It's not expired. It doesn't expire till July 2020. So I'm hoping that that doesn't mess it up, because mine doesn't look exactly like theirs does. It's got some clumps in it. The next step we're going to do is we're going to add some flour. And in all, we're probably going to add 4 cups, but we're going to start with 1 cup at a time. Okay, so I feel pretty good about this. We're going to go ahead and add just 1 cup of flour. Okay. So, I might have to take this out. I'm going to actually do it over the sink so that it doesn't spill on the counter. or get all over the place. And this is just regular all-purpose flour. All right. So here goes 1 cup. Try to get over the top of it so they can see. And we're going to mix this really good. And for video's sake, we're going to come back to you in a minute after that 1 cup's mixed. All right, so now I've added the 1 cup and I mixed it, and now I'm going to add the 2nd cup. Mine looks clumpy. I don't remember if theirs was clumpy in the bowl or not, but I'm following the recipe just like they said, so hopefully it's right. So now I'm going to add the 2nd cup of flour. And we're just going to mix it and mix it. Eventually, when you keep adding the flour, it's going to get harder to mix in the bowl. See how clumpy mine is? I'm not sure if theirs was that clumpy. I just can't remember. But we're going to go with it, guys. We're going to go with it. I am going to use this. Just, I don't know if I need to or not, but I'm going to mix it with this little thing a little bit. Try to break up some of them clumps. All right, now I'm going to add my 2nd cup of flour. Not 2nd. My bad, guys. This is 3rd cup. We're just adding them 1 at a time. Ooh, made a mess. Here goes the 3rd cup. And it is getting a little bit, like, you can see it's getting thicker. And it's not as easy as it was to mix prior. All right, stop. Now we've mixed it up. Show the shot of the bowl. It's getting smoother. We're going to add the final cup. And we are going to add half of it at a time. We're not going to add it all at once. And then we'll add. So I'm going to add like half of it. And now I'm going to mix it some. And then I'll add the other half. And it is getting thicker to mix, for sure. I'll add the other one. Ooh, that was loud. Now it's getting really thick to mix. I'm going to keep scraping from the bowls and just try to fold it in there. It's getting really hard to mix now. Mix it up. We be mixing. Oh, Lord. This is a workout. Mrs.Byrd's out of shape. It's hurting my hand. I'll be into bed tonight going, why my hand hurt? Then I said, oh yeah, I was mixing some bread. See how it's sticking to the bowl kind of, but it's kind of like elastic a little bit. Now my hands are clean. I'm going to touch it because I'm going to have to knead it. I saw in the video where they added a little bit more flour to theirs. So I've never made bread. I don't know what I'm doing, but I feel like I need just a little bit more flour. So I'm going to go ahead and add, that was probably about a little less than half. It was probably about 1/4 of a cup, 1/4. If you guys know your fractions. How many 1/4 cups are there in a cup? 4. 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 equals 1 whole cup. Got some math in here for y'all. All right, so now I'm going to attempt to knead it. Okay, so what we're going to do, and this countertop is clean. It ain't got no Corona on it. I sanitize it. It's good to go. It's very clean. I hope it is anyway. So I'm gonna get this dagglim air fryer on the way. So I'm gonna spread a little flour down on my countertop. I'm just gonna and by the way, my hands are clean too. I washed them about 5 times. Okay? I'm gonna spread this around a little bit. And I'm gonna attempt to take this out the bowl and hope that I'm gonna be able to do what this lady did that I saw doing this, because to me this is the scary part, because it's together, but it's like it's still like a glob. It's like when you make slime and it ain't quite right yet, you know, and it's still sticking to your hand and everything, and so you just don't know. Oh Lord, I think I need more flour. Oh my gosh, but I'm gonna keep working with it for a minute before I add some more, because I heard, look how it's sticking to my counter. Who's gonna clean this mess up when I'm done? Y'all get over here and clean this up. Just kidding. So we'll be back in a minute. I think I need to add some more flour right here because, and my hands are obviously sticky. I might have to get my little assistant to help me. So we'll be right back. We had a mess while ago. We finally got it a little, we had to keep adding some flour. So I would say if it's like really sticky, you just add flour. Now I'm gonna do a trick that I saw someone do. I still need to knead it, because you need to knead it for about 10 minutes, and you didn't really get to see me kneading it. So I'm adding a little oil to the surface, and then I'm gonna roll it back out. This is so we don't have to keep adding flour, and the more flour you add, the tougher your bread will be. And we want bread fluffy, right? We don't want bread hard. So I'm gonna fold it, pat it, turn it. I'm gonna pat it, fold it, and this. If your mama's in there watching this, she said, or your grandma, and they said, that ain't how you knead bread. Well, you tell them Miss Byrd don't know. She's just doing the best she can. Tell them if they want to give me a lesson sometime, that would be great. So basically, you keep doing this process for about 10 minutes. And I'm going to be honest with you, mine's still a little sticky, as you can see. I may have to add some more flour. I don't understand what's going on. You know what, guys? Miss Byrd's getting really frustrated. I'm getting really frustrated. So I'm going to add a little more flour to this, because that trick that someone told me is not working for me. It's just not working. I just cleaned my counter off, and it's still sticking to my counter. And by this time, as much flour as I've added, it should be not sticking like this. And it's still sticking. It gets a little better when I start adding the flour to it. So, and guess what? Miss Byrd's out of flour. Send her help immediately. I need flour. And I can't go get it. So, we're just going to roll with it, guys. Sometimes in life, that's what you got to do. So I'm going to keep kneading this for about 10 minutes and see what we come up with. Alright guys, so if your grandma or your great-grandma or your mama baked bread by hand, you need to go give them a hug, because this is not very fun. Can I just say that? But we've got to finish it. We've got to finish what we started. That little hen in that book, boy, whoo, she did some work and nobody helped her. Bless her little heart. So now I've been kneading it for a little while. I had to end up adding more flour. We'll see how it turns out. It's not sticky, so I'm going to go with it. I'm going to round it in a ball. That's what she did. See how it's in a ball? See how if I touch it, it's not sticking to me? And see how it's like pushing down and it comes back up? Kind of spongy. So I'm going to stick it in this bowl right now. Bam. Now, we're going to put a towel over it. We need to let it sit until it doubles in size. So you're going to see it rise. All right? We're going to clean this mess up. We'll be back. All right, guys. So we're back at it. And our dough's been sitting here. It's probably been about 35 minutes that we've waited. And so let's take a peek. Come in, camera lady. Come on, let's get in there and let's see, has it done anything? It's supposed to double in twice its size. Let's see if it did. Oh, yeah, buddy. So here's what we're going to do. I saw where the person I saw making it, they punch the bread, right? They flatten it back down, and they roll it back up. I'm going to take my ring off. I'm going to mess my diamond up, y'all. I'm going to mess my diamond up. They punch it down, and then they're going to roll it back in a ball and let it sit one more time. So all I've got is time right now, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to punch it down. So come in close, cameraman. I'm going to take my aggressions out. Get some. Just kidding. Don't do that, guys. It's fine on dough, but not on people, okay? All right, so I'm going to scrape the sides of I'm going to get this back in a ball. I'm going to get it back in a ball. Come on, back at you. It's still a little sticky, but we don't care about that right now because we're just trying to get through it, right? Just trying to get it right back down. All right, so we're going to let it sit another maybe 20, 30 minutes, and we'll be back. And so our dough had rised again. I flattened it back down. I cut it into 2 loaves. I just basically pinched the loaf in half. I formed this one, and then here's another one. I may freeze this one, but I don't have another one of these pans, so I'm gonna let this be. All I did here was I sprayed the inside of the pan with some cooking oil, and then I put a piece of wax paper. This is actually wax paper. Parchment paper might be better. And then I oiled that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it in the oven at 350 for 30 minutes. My oven's not quite preheated yet, so I'm not going to quite put it in yet. But you don't want to smash it down into the pan. You just want to let it form it into a football, drop it in, let it be. So in a minute, right now, actually, guys, let's go. Let's put it in. Put it in. Okay, there we go. And we're going to set our timer for 30 minutes. Here we go. There we go. All right, take a look at it and see what's going to happen with it. We'll be back. All right, guys, we're back in Miss Byrd's bread making kitchen. And the bread has just went off. The timer has just went off. And I'm going to let you, oh, look how, oh, it looks like a huge hamburger. Okay. Oh, yeah. That look nice. That look nice. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to let this cool. It needs to rest. If we try to cut it right now, it's not going to be good. We're going to let it cool. We're going to let it rest. We're going to come back at you. We're going to cut it. We're going to try a little piece with some jelly. Yes, be right back. Back, and I'm about to cut the bread. You know, my bread, it almost looks like a giant biscuit if you want to be technical about it. I mean, it looks like a giant biscuit, but it is what it is. We're going to sample a little piece right now. We're going to put a little butter, a little pat of butter. And it's still a little warm, but not real warm. I'll put a little bit. Oh, it's crumbling before my eyes. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna put a little jelly on it. All right. Woo. There we go. Spread it out. Spread that on out. All right. I knew that piece was gonna fall off. All right. Here we go. You know what it tastes like? It's very good, but it tastes more like, it really does taste like a biscuit from Biscuit Stop. If you guys have ever had Biscuit Stop versus bread, it's more biscuits, got a biscuit type flavor to it, but it's very good. So I'm gonna give that a thumbs up. But let me say this. There was a lot of work involved in making that loaf. So if you can find some bread, buy some bread. Don't make. But if you can't, and you got someone willing to help you, go for it. But overall, it was definitely a thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to make some bread, ask an adult in your family, show them what you need. But this was basically, I just wanted to show you how hard the little hen had to work to make a loaf of bread. And she worked even harder because she grew her wheat, she chopped it down, she carried it to the miller. Obviously, I didn't do that. I bought my flour from the grocery store. But I give it a thumbs up. See you next time, guys.